Hello, everybody. Chris Grant here again. I'm going to say once again that this is a disclaimer. I'm not singling out Guitar Center. I just simply chose to take lessons from them just to check it out and see if it would benefit me. And I'm not endorsing them. I just recommend that you find a good teacher wherever you're at. So I finished my last lesson with them. I signed up for 4 lessons, and last Saturday was my last lesson. And I chose not to sign up again to keep it going. And I'm going to get into that in a short while. I want to discuss the lessons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this is my personal journey with the instrument, with the piano. So I took lessons probably about 6 years ago, and I had a good teacher, and I learned a pretty good amount in my first. I think I took lessons for like 3 years, maybe a little longer than that. So starting from zero to where I am now, my first piano teacher really accelerated my learning process. And then I got really busy at my job and I stopped taking lessons. I just didn't have the time. And I felt bad about not taking lessons. I always felt like, I gotta go back to taking lessons, but I just really don't have the time. So when I was at the Guitar Center a month or so ago, I decided to try taking lessons again to see if I'm missing anything, to see where I'm at, to see if there's something that the teachers could, something I can improve upon. So my overall impression is that I'm going to start with the good. The teachers at the Guitar Center, the piano instructors, I had 2 because one wasn't available one of the weeks that I had a lesson. So they gave me another instructor, and both of them were very good. They're very good, very professional, very experienced. And I could tell that, they were good, not only teachers, but good players, because they demonstrated their playing ability. And I like to see that. I like to see my teacher play as well as watch what I'm doing. So it was a good blend of that. Overall, though, I would say that the instructors were very good for more beginner piano students. And I'm going to get into a little bit more of some of the traps that I think piano teachers get into. So I want to say that a lot of this is getting into the bad now. The good was that they're good teachers. I think that they have, very skilled, and I think they're good for beginners. But here's kind of the bad. I don't think that they're tailored enough for each student. I think every student is different. Like where I'm at and where a beginner student, a really beginner student, is different. Now, I explained to them up front that I work, I have a daytime job. I work really long hours. I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to the piano. I try and squeeze it in here and there on the weekends. And, when I do a YouTube video, that actually cuts into my practice time. I mean, I wish I could do a YouTube video a week, but it's a lot of work to create a YouTube video, especially if you're performing. And then you got to edit the video and on and on. So I explained to them, I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to the instrument. So I need something, an idea, a tip, something to get me to keep playing and advancing without a lot of time to practice. And they really didn't. They told me to play with a metronome and play slow, and which I've been doing. I'm using the metronome more and more. And I do think it does have its benefits and its drawbacks, but I don't want to get into that too much right now. So they really didn't grasp my situation, that the time constraints. So I want to get into the ugly. The reason why I stopped taking the lessons and continuing is because of my personal life. I have a daytime job. I work long hours. I feel that if I can't put the time in, if they're going to give me, some sheet music to do, to work on, whatever it is, and I don't have really the time to dedicate to playing it at performance level the next time I see them, or even the next 2 times that I see them, I'm kind of spinning my wheels. I'm taking the lessons and I'm not really able to put the time and effort into whatever it is they assign to me. And that just becomes more frustrating. I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on my own. And at this juncture in my life, I think it's just best for me to work on what I can, when I can, and at the pace that I can do it. Because I believe lessons are good if you have the time. If you have the time, you're going to accelerate. The teacher is going to give you assignments that are at your level, and then you'll gradually advance. But I'm kind of plateauing right now because taking lessons is almost counterproductive at this point for me. I may go back to taking lessons there again. This is a busy time of year. The holidays are coming up and I'm going to be out of town and etc. So maybe after the holidays, I'll sign up for lessons again if I feel that I could put the time and effort into the lessons. Because right now it's kind of like it's just not happening. And I don't think it's good for me as a student, and I don't think it's good for them as an instructor, because they they see me show up. I tell them I don't have a lot of practice time. So he did give me some kind of easy, kind of beginner, intermediate, classical pieces to work on. They're very short and I'm working on them, but I'm not going to be ready to play the next time I see them. I might need, instead of 1 week to learn the piece, I might need 2 or 3 weeks. So what's the sense of having these lessons when I can't advance at the pace of the lessons? So for right now, I'm opting out of the lessons. And it's nothing on them. It's more my personal lifestyle is affecting the lessons. They're not coinciding. So in a way, my thought is there are times when you just have to be your own teacher. And by that, I mean you have to pick music or sheet music or songs or whatever it is you want to do, and do it at your own pace, under your own guidelines. You kind of have to critique yourself, record yourself, let others listen to you play or whatever. But you kind of have to be your own teacher and your own student. And at this point, that's where I'm at. And I think if I were a teacher, I kind of reverse the roles a little bit. And if I was having to teach somebody who was in my situation, I would have to approach it very differently than someone who has more time to practice. And I'm not really sure what I would do. I think I would actually ask the student, well, what's your goals? What are you working on? Where are you at? Are you working on a song right now? Show me what you're doing, and then let's set a pace and a goal and see if we can reach that goal. Like, for instance, any song, any pop song, rock, even classical or jazz, I would say, okay, where are you at with the music? Okay, you got the first 8 bars down. Okay, play it. Let me hear it. And if you got the first 8 bars down pretty good, then maybe the next week do another 8 more bars. You got to do small chunks. I think there's a tendency for teachers to expect too much too soon when you have someone who has limited time. They have a one-size-fits-all kind of program. And they think that if I hand a new student who's a lot younger, but they have more time, they might be able to learn that piece in a week. But I don't have a lot of time. So it might take me 3 weeks to learn that piece. And plus, I'm working on other things as well, So I'm kind of at a point where I feel that I have to be my own teacher in a way. I can sight read fairly well. I'm probably beginner, closing in on intermediate in sight reading. He gave me a kind of a classical piece, an easy one. He actually gave me 2 short classical pieces that were kind of beginner to intermediate, and I sight read them, one of them, while I was there, and I kind of got it. I fumbled through it, and but even that piece, as I don't want to say as easy as it is, it's going to take me a few weeks to get it down to where I could play it confidently, get the fingerings, and play it in front of my piano teacher. See, I understand from their point of view, they want to see progress. They want to see, here's the sheet music. Next time I see you, I want you to be able to play it perfectly. And that's not happening because of the lack of time. So I think piano teachers just have to have an understanding of each student's time constraints. And like I said, if I was a teacher and I had a student that really wanted to learn the piano, I would try and gear the lessons towards, even if they were learning very short, small amounts of, even if it's one measure, I would rather my student come in the first week and play that 1 or 2 measures perfectly before I hand them another assignment and then another assignment. And then the week after that, let's do 4 measures. Let's do the first verse or the first section. Get it down. It's a slow process for someone who has time constraints. And that's just my opinion. And it's okay to stop taking lessons if you don't have the time. It's kind of a waste of time and money, in my opinion, if you can't meet the goals that your piano teacher is setting you. So there's going to be no playing in this lesson. I just wanted to kind of give my final analysis of going back to taking lessons. As I said, I stopped taking lessons for probably about 3 years and just did a lot on my own. I just, kept sight reading, working on stuff here and there as in my spare time. And I just wanted to try lessons again. I just wanted to see if there was something that they could offer me, maybe an idea to help me advance despite the fact that I have limited time. So that is my tip for today, and we'll see you next time.